This video is brought to you by Scout's Eyes. If you're a talented footballer and you want to get yourself in front of a scout, visit Scout's Eyes right now or click the link in the description.
And for the final time this season, the starting 11, the 11 to go out, beat Everton and hope for something up in Manchester. Arsenal face Everton at the Emirates Stadium on the final day of the Premier League season, and we're keeping an eye on Man City at home to what is rumoured to be a bit of an injury, or shall I say illness-stricken West Ham. But we won't just address rumours, because some bits have been doing on social media. We've got to talk Arsenal first, and we've got to talk about getting over the Everton hurdle and getting our job done first. I'm going to go and ask the amazing sofa of Lee, Julian and Robbie, who woke up today and thought it could, you know. Lee?
Nah.
Brilliant.
I've been really honest with you. I've made me peace with it weeks ago. I actually said probably like after the Aston Villa game. But what for us, for as an Arsenal fan, it was to get it to the end of this last game. We've done that. There's nothing more we can do. If I'd be really honest, and I look back at it now, we was going over it yesterday, a couple of mates, and that where it all. Probably our own form's not been quite good enough. 2 defeats, couple of draws in that. That's probably where it at. But at the end of it, we've had a great season, and you have to give. I don't want to give them credit because of what they are and what we know what they are and what they've done. But the 11 players that play, as soon as the pressure's been on, they just seem to be able to crank it up, and I'll give them credit for that.
Robbie, where's the belief? You're always the one telling us.
Yeah.
You're always the one telling us.
Hearing rumours about players missing at West Ham, the beliefs just completely disappeared. I mean, a bit like Lee, I don't really expect Man City to slip up at home. You know, if the game had been played at the London Stadium, I'd have a bit of hope. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think, you know, they've been so good at home. You know, I mean, all it takes is a draw on for us to win. And, you know, but to be honest, I've kind of made my peace with it as well. I just want us to go out there and win this last game, finish off the season in style, and then listen, see where it takes us. Football's a weird game. Strange things can happen in football. Pressure is different on that last day, especially for the team that knows that it's all in their hands, which is for, you know, we've seen like, you know, a couple of seasons ago, they were 2-0 down against Aston Villa. On the last day of the season, and had that stood, they would have lost the league. They did come back and win it, by the way, but they were 2-0 down. They were, you know, there's always the famous Aguero moment when they were playing a relegated Queen's Park Rangers and nearly slipped then, you know what I mean? It took like a last minute, last gasp winner. So football's a crazy game sometimes, but if they do turn up, and West Ham turn up, they win the game. Just like with us, if we turn up, Everton turn up, we win because we're a better side. So, yeah, it's a bit gutted. That it's probably not going to be that, but I'm, you know, still really, like Lee said, really happy with our season. Really happy with it.
Go on, Julian. You're the last hope for some hope.
Yeah. Well, my whole psyche, especially with going to football, is to go in with a positive attitude, and I just want to enjoy the moment. I think if you put a dampener on it, and as Lee did, because it's really strange. So when Lee walked in, he was very positive, and a few minutes later, he just says no. He doesn't think.
No, but that's because he heard about Bowen, right? The possibility of
so
Bowen.
let's address the rumours super quickly.
It's rumours.
No, but once you heard, I had the same thing because I was trying to, you know, I spoke to Nicky and them from West Ham Fan TV, and they're like, Robbie, why is everyone not? He goes, they're disrespecting us, right? Not giving us no chance at all. They're going, look, when we came to the Emirates, we had no chance. We beat you lot. Which I was like, that's true, right? And so after speaking to Nicky and some of his guys, because they were on their way up to the Etihad, right? And they rung me, I was feeling a bit more positive. But then when I turned up here now and heard that Bowen could be out, Paqueta could be out, and Kudos could be out, then I'm like, Lee, it's over.
Sure, let's just address it really quickly. So there were rumours, I haven't even seen the source of the rumours, and people are just going over it on socials. Apparently there's some sort of rumours that Bowen is going to miss out. That has come from, you know, ITKs that do seem to know, you know, what's going on. But in terms of Paqueta and Kudos, haven't heard about that. Apparently there's a bug in the West Ham.
Them three are missing, are you positive?
If it's them three.
I need to be positive because I want to enjoy it. I don't want to be. I'm going to be on a downer if it doesn't happen. So what's the point of being on a downer of something that might happen or might not happen?
I'm going to enjoy the game.
Yeah, but
No, that's it. You just enjoy the game.
But if you're going to ask me, are they going to win? I want to say yes, because I want to believe they're going to win. So I want the whole thing to be positive. I've been to the stadium and I know that trophy is there. And they've done a dress rehearsal for actually presenting the trophy. Everything is there.
They've done that dress rehearsal at City as well.
Yeah, of course they did. But I'm not
with the real
thinking-
trophy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's significant that the real one's up there, isn't it?
No, they're
What's
both
the real
replicas,
one?
actually.
Oh, they're both replicas.
both
Okay.
replicas.
They're both the same. So why do I want to think about them lifting it? I want to spend the next
I'm
few
not thinking
hours,
about them lifting
No, but I want to spend the next few hours believing, even if you can say that I'm delusional, but I'm going to be thinking that they're going to win it for the next few hours. I'm in that mindset as if we've won it. And if the unlikely event that City are going to win it, then I'll deal with it then. Not now, because it hasn't happened.
Do you know, I'm so with you. And with most other things, I sort of think, no, but come on, James, realistically, whatever. But I've been an Arsenal fan since 2006, guys. I've never woken up on a day and thought my team could win the Premier League.
Well,
I've never had that.
Well,
you know, and I'm just, and there'll be thousands around the world
let me tell you,
who
John.
are in the same position I'm in. And I'm with Julian, which is, I just want to enjoy it until I know it's done. Let me
tell you.
Where I am.
Let me tell you, you'll enjoy it a lot more if we're in the controlling the controls.
Don't have the
You know
choice.
what I mean? Like,
No, I think you'd be more
that's-
stressed because it's almost like you're thrown away. I mean, as you said you'd made your peace with it against Villa. I actually think you made your peace with it against Fulham, because I'm always referring back to that conversation. You made your peace, which is fine. But for me, yeah, I know the stats. You know, I look at the stats. I know that realistically, Arsenal have got the most chance. I think it's like 16% of actually winning it. So it's probably not going to happen. But why I think that way? We're not playing the game. It's an entertainment. It's our passion. So I'm going to be in this bubble of, yeah, we've got a chance and it can happen, and I'm going to enjoy every single moment. And if it doesn't happen, I'm going to enjoy it anyway.
And that is, you know, how to feel. If someone would have come to me after that Fulham game, this is where football's a funny thing, and said to you, after just those two defeats, you know, lose to Liverpool the next game, because don't forget we lost to Liverpool straight after that.
Cup, yeah.
And then like you would go on this amazing run, you wouldn't believe it. You know, and that's what football can do. You know, and listen, from that moment on, from that poor performance at Fulham, our league form has been nothing but magnificent, we've been brilliant. And I'm proud of Arsenal at this moment in time. I'm proud of the team, proud of everything they do. In my mind today, I'm not gonna push myself out. I'm just going to go there today, enjoy the game.
Yeah.
And I, in my personal mind, I wouldn't be surprised if they're 2 or 3-0 up at the end of it, especially for everything is insane. The one consolation I've got a few West Ham mates, and every single one of them has turned around and said, we want to go up there and we want to beat them, or we want to draw. They're not like some other team down the road that didn't want to win the game. Like, you know,
It's
what I mean?
really it's
they
interesting.
do want to win that game.
Interesting what you said, Nicky and everyone with him were saying, because don't get me wrong, of course my head goes, City will beat West Ham at home. But I've got to say, I didn't like some of the commentary and some of the reaction post City winning at Spurs, where they basically were just like, well, that's it now. They've won it. And I thought, look, West Ham probably won't win at City. You play that game 50 times, they maybe get a result 3, 4, 5 times there, maybe. But like, they've got quality. They've spent money to have quality. We know, because we gave them that money to spend it on quality. And there was this underlying like, oh, well, it's done now, and everything on the weekend's going to be a foregone conclusion, which I thought, I feel like people have gone a bit too quick with that, even though I, obviously do think that's ultimately how it's going to go. But that counts for us too with Everton, because we're talking the preview, and I can't help but talk about it as if we need West Ham to get the result. We need to get the result too.
Oh, yeah,
and if we're in a situation where something happens up there and we're still drawing our game or losing, it's like, oh my God.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm with Lee, right? So to me, I'm just focused on our game today. Win our game, go there, play some great football, sun shining out there, fans are going to be right behind the team. Go and win our game, right? And then whatever happens after that, that's my mindset of today. It's like, I'm not stressing myself out thinking about what's going to happen at the Etihad, right? Because if I do that, I'm not going to even enjoy my game, because I'm just going to be like every minute on a phone and all that. I don't think it's that situation where we just need to worry about what we're doing on that pitch today, and that's it. And then I'm sure Arteta will be saying that to the players, and then after that, see what happens. You know what I mean? See what happens.
I might get a little bit stressed out if West Ham are winning 2-0 with 10 minutes.
Well, yeah. If somebody says to me, right, they're 2-0 up, or even 1-0 up.
If someone says to me they're 0-0 by
minutes.
half time, I'm
but
like,
it's better that they're 1-0 up than 0-0 because it's just better. I don't know how we'd say that. We obviously want West Ham not to concede, but if West Ham are 1-0 up, that means City have got to score 2.
No, of course we want them 1-0 up. Of course we want them winning.
2-0 up, 3-0 up.
1-0 up, 2-0 up, whatever up, right? We want them up, but, you know what I mean, I'll deal with that if that happens.
Imagine if it was, like, the crazy situation is that they're 2-0 down with 5 minutes to go and it's 0-0 here. Do you imagine what it'd be like?
That's why we got to do that. That's why that team today needs to be focused upon what's happening at the Emirates and not at the Etihad. Go out there and play like how we normally play when we play Everton at home, which is we normally win. Go out there and just treat it like, I know it's hard, but they got to just treat that like a normal game. Treat that like a normal game. Just go out there and win that game.
you're all going to the game, aren't you?
Yeah, but I think there's something we can do that could have an effect on them, and that's score early. So if we score early, because they're going to be keeping an eye on our game, and if it gets through to the City team that Arsenal were 2-3-0 up, puts more pressure on them.
Yeah.
Well, I want to say something so stupid, but it is true. Like, City have to, and they will. City have to score. Like, the game. This isn't one of those where we need them to lose. We need West Ham to go there and beat them. The game starts 0-0, like every football match does.
Yep.
They have to earn the right to get that goal. So where I do kind of agree with Julian is, if we can do something like get that lead, and maybe quite early or whatever, and see that table just shape up in the meantime, then at least you're asking the question, Lee.
I get that, and you can ask away, I give you that.
Do you know if we win, he'll be the most shameless,
Yeah.
He will. If we
We've
do,
always said we're going to win.
I always believed in this team. I always said we'll do all that.
Whoa. When have I never said I believe in my team?
Loads of times.
I believed in this team also. Let's be really honest about it, right?
Let's be honest. Let's start lying now.
I have only ever felt let down once this season. Fulham away.
Yeah.
That's the only time. If you go back, disappointed when we lost at Newcastle, disappointed when we lost at Villa. But at the end of the day, I've come away and I've not gone, oh man, the only time that I felt we've let ourselves down, one game in summer, forget a couple of games maybe in Europe, but ultimately one game in the Premier League where I felt we've not been right on it. You can't knock them for that, And at the end of it, I do think that we've had a fantastic season. I don't care what anybody says. I was just talking on a train coming down here. Someone said, would you like to be going through this or 4 or 5 years of rubbish? No, these 2 years have been fantastic.
We've taken it to the last day. Like you said, James, whether we don't feel it's going to be enough or not, right? We've taken it to the last day. City have got something to think about today, right?
Yeah.
They've got to win that game to win the league, or we win it, right? That's what we've done. We've taken it to the last day, right? A guy asked me a ridiculous question today. He goes, when the questions need to be asked about Arteta? I go, what questions? Are you mad? For 2 years straight now, we've challenged for the league, right? Last year, we were the only team challenging, with City for that league, and in the year in which they won the treble. And this year, we challenged them again, and we've taken them right down to the wire. I've got no doubts that we'll be challenging again next year. Yeah. He's the right man for the job right now. You know what I mean? He's doing a great job. If in the summer, a couple of good signings, we don't need loads of signings, by the way. A couple of good signings in the summer, and we're going to be right back there again. So we're in the right place now. This is a team that, over the years, we've been miles off. The people got to remember that how far off we were. Miles off, finishing 8th, finishing even when we were finishing 4th, right? When you actually looked at the points tally, we were like 15, 20 points behind the team that won it. We never in the last day of the season. The only conversation we might possibly have in the league is getting into the top 4. Remember that year with Newcastle?
And how pressure that was.
Yeah. So I like where we are right now. It might be too short might fall short this season, but we're in the right place, right? This is what I want to see my team doing year in, year out, and we will win one eventually.
Do you know what someone said earlier on, which is a great, about this Mikel Arteta thing, like, you know, like people say, oh, he's got to win the league next year or he's got to be sacked, right, or whatever, right? I'll say this, Julian will tell me that, how long have Arsenal been going? How many years?
1886.
So, like, how many years is that? Over 100 years, right?
Yeah.
120 years, maybe, like, or whatever.
Just shove 100.
Right, how many titles have Arsenal won in that time?
13.
13.
Yeah.
So in 100-year history, we've won it 13 times, and you're saying to a manager that's challenged for twice, you've got to win it next year or he's out. 13 times we've won it in the history
won it
of Arsenal
once,
football.
right? Klopp's leaving
it's
today.
ridiculous.
Klopp's leaving today as one of the great managers, I feel, of the Premier League. He's won it once.
It's 138 years.
138 years.
Klopp's won it once,
Well,
and don't make anybody get it twisted. I think he's a great manager.
Yeah.
And he's been a great manager for Liverpool. He's won it once. And if you look at it, right, we're placed well. Like, Liverpool, new manager. Chelsea, you know what I mean? They're still a bit of a mess. All right, they've finished the season well. They're a bit of a mess. It's the point I was making when I was talking to Smithy yesterday on that Soccer AM, right? He's a big Tottenham fan. And I was saying, your fans, I get it, right? I wouldn't want Tottenham to win the league either, but when I go to a game, I want my team to win. I'm not doing no Poznan or turning up in the light blue away shirt like I'm supporting City, right? That game, if that would have been a proper atmosphere for that game, proper thing, that may not have been the same result that happened there. It felt all in City's favour, right? But Tottenham need to be worried, right? Because West Ham, for instance, who are playing today, they've got a new manager next year who's going to play more attacking football, right? They've got good players, just as good attacking-wise as Tottenham are. If
Better
not,
attacking
right,
players.
if not better, right? They're going to be up there. Chelsea are going to be back. United will probably, you know, as bad as they've been this season, we do have to admit they've had a load of injuries, right? So there's going to be a lot of teams getting better. But I know one thing, Liverpool, new manager as well, they've got. They may struggle to be as good as what Klopp was, but they're still going to be up there. So Tottenham are going to be in big trouble next year. But I know one thing, we're well placed again to challenge next year. Even Liverpool are going to be in a bit of a transition with a new manager.
Oh, great.
So we're in a good place.
What about Everton? What do we have to do to win today? Obviously play our football, but this is a stubborn team. This is a team that are organised, a team that are in good form. I think 4 wins in their last 5. What's the task for Arsenal today?
Well,
a lot of it's psychological, I imagine.
It is, and one thing is when people turn around and say the table never lies, well, this year it does lie, because Everton ain't where they should be because of the points deduction and everything there. They're not as where they are. They're a dangerous side, and one thing I would say, that if it was the other way round, and that's why I would never really understand that Tottenham mentality, because if they'd have won that game, I think they'd have got Champions League. And there's no guarantee then that Arsenal would have beaten Everton, because Everton are a difficult nut to crack. And with the pressure of it all, it might have been difficult. I think they're, you know, the last game of the season, this is one of the sort of teams you don't want that are defensively minded and know how to defend and get results. And this manager knows how to do it against the odds. So it would have been a difficult, tough game. I still think it'd be a tough game. But I do think, because of circumstances, I think that we'll be a little bit relaxed towards it and get a comfortable win. If things are not going right, I can see it being tough. But I think Everton are in good form. You know, I have to admire the way they played against Liverpool that day. I thought that I didn't think that they'd win that game. If you said to me, oh, they might draw it, but they went on and done a defensive masterclass that day.
They bullied them, didn't they?
They bullied them and everything like that. So if you're not on it today, and you are taking your eye off the ball, just thinking of that, this is the sort of team that can punish you and make it hard. If they go 1-0 up here today, you're in for a right tough task. So we've got to get in front and stay in front. Yeah,
Julian, I know you always do your research on the opposition.
He loves Everton, by the way.
I do love it, especially when you look at Everton. They are in form. They've won 4 out of 5, as you quite rightly said. But if you actually look at the 4 they've won, other than the Liverpool game, they've all played teams near the bottom of the league. And also the way that they play, I think, actually suits Arsenal, because what they like to do is lump balls into the box. They do a lot of crosses. Raya's fabulous at taking out crosses. They hit more long balls than any other team in the league. And I think our centre halves now are so well geared up for playing against that opposition. Whereas, you know, take it back to the end of the Wenger years, that was our Achilles heel. So I think if we'd been playing Everton, back then, I'd be more concerned. Now I just see the way that they play, we can just mop that up.
Yeah, I'm getting distracted by some rumours about our potential starting 11. Let me first ask you if any of you would make any changes.
No.
No?
No.
It depends on the fitness of Saka.
So are the rumours Saka's not available?
Well, the last time I saw him, he was pretty much being carried off. So I didn't need to see rumours; it was in front of me.
A week ago.
And also, it might have been a week ago, but look, he always seems to bounce back. But I didn't think. I thought of all the players on the pitch that day for Arsenal, he was probably the poorest one. That was before he got injured. So if I was going to replace anyone,
I don't want to say that next to Robbie.
No, but look, he's been brilliant, but I didn't think he played well that game. And he got injured, he was carried off, so he'd be the position that I'd be looking at potentially changing.
What are the rumours you're in?
Comes from his handle is Hand of Ozil saying Martinelli starts. Those are the rumours.
That'd be a surprise if Martinelli starts.
In place of who, does he say? Or?
No.
Yeah. That'd be a surprise.
Well, it could be. It could be in place of Saka if Saka's.
Yeah, I'd expect Trossard to start, and even if Saka was injured, then I'd probably expect Jesus to start on that right hand side. So I'll be interested to see that because Trossard's been brilliant, hasn't he?
I will also say that the rumours around West Ham have now cooled to more. Some people are saying that there isn't a bug in the camp, but that Jared Bowen isn't going to play. But West Ham posted a picture with Alvarez and Paqueta's shirts in the Man City dressing room, so...
that gives me more confidence.
Yeah, but I want to see the Bowen shirt because to me he's the main man. He's the guy.
It caused us a few problems up there,
scoring goals, you know what I mean? I'm sure he would have wanted to, score a few more goals. To me, I think he should go with the England squad to Germany. He's played that well this season.
I think Antonio should go if he scores today,
He's an Arsenal
I think
fan,
he should be knighted. I think if they win, he should be knighted.
Got a super chat from Lee, says, big up Robbie and the Mandem. London is forever red. Come on, you Gunners. I've got to say, made my way through London on my way in today. Sea of red, man. Everyone just in their Arsenal shirts. Just, I don't know, just repping the colours.
I never wear, very rarely wear Arsenal gear at games.
Really?
No, I think it's because growing up when you weren't meant to do it. But I thought today, I don't know why, I just thought I should.
You just went...
Why?
I don't know.
What is that feeling you've got?
I don't know. I just
Leave.
Crazy fear. I've got Clarendon Road pants on. But I ain't going to put myself through it, like, you know what I mean?
I did see someone, it was such a stupid joke, but it just made me chuckle. Someone posted on Twitter, they said, "Come on, you Irons," with a picture of an iron mark on their Arsenal shirt. Just thought, wow, we're doing anything.
No, literally Irons, mate. Irons.
Doing anything to show Arsenal,
Irons.
aren't we?
But I'll tell you what, look, listen, at the end of the day, West Ham fans are going up there today. They probably, if they had a choice, wouldn't want Arsenal to win it because of the Declan Rice thing. Don't forget they get an extra £5 million in their coppers if they win today. But
you'll drive that over, won't you?
I'll drive that over. But at the end of it, I will say this: the majority of the West Ham fans that have said, we don't want Man City to win it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't want.
But it also makes them relevant in as much as they haven't had a very good season, but this season will be known if it does happen.
Yeah, great.
For West Ham getting that result, it won't be so much of all right. Arsenal will win the league if we do our business.
West Ham called
but West Ham did something.
Can I just say, when West Ham were playing Fiorentina in that final, I wasn't doing this whole, I don't want English clubs to win it. I wanted West Ham to win it. I was happy for them. I was like, I was happy for them.
I was happy.
Well, I was chatting to...
I wanted West Ham to win it.
I actually wanted West Ham.
So let's return the favour a year on. Do us a favour. I know we did nothing to help them.
Chatting to those guys on the way up in the car today, there's about 5 of them in the car, and it was half off. Half of them were like, no, I don't want Arsenal to win it.
Not after the Declan Rice saga, social media.
But the other half were like, no, actually, I don't mind if Arsenal win it. But the thing is about that car of those guys that were going up there, all of them wanted West Ham to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was none of them that's the difference, right? None of them was sort of saying none of them was saying I want to lose, and I think that's the difference between say that and maybe the Tottenham one the other day where, you had Tottenham fans actively like want to lose the game. I don't want to. I mean, so that's a difference. They will be behind their team, but I think it should be sort of almost like if they lose, it's like you lot never won it. I mean, and that's a.
So the ones that want us to not win the league are basically want West Ham to win today and Everton to win. That's what they want.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
They're like, but they all want to win the game. They like, when I said to them, do you want to go, listen, you think I'm driving all the way to Manchester to see our team lose? Want to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And as I said, Nicky and a couple of guys were saying they feel a bit disrespected because everyone's just saying the league's over. It's like assuming that, West Ham's just going to lay down and die. So I hope that's the same attitude with the players.
Well, let's see.
But they've got a tough task to go up there and to win at the Etihad. If that was at London Stadium, maybe.
Don't need to win.
One thing that I think the Premier League's got to learn from this is not to put a game like Manchester City and Tottenham right at the end of the season.
But that wasn't the intention. It was rescheduled.
It was rescheduled, but they could have sorted that out.
I don't think they could because City were in the Champions League quarter-final, so there's very little chance.
They could have put the game Brighton and could have changed it around. They could have done a couple of things. And also, don't put that game, Tottenham versus Man City, when it was an FA Cup game. Don't do it, so that it can be changed.
Well,
I just think
it comes out randomly.
Well, I don't know, but then change it. You know what I mean? Like, because at the end of the day, I was talking to my Spurs mates today.
They do like this all the time.
They didn't enjoy the game. I spoke to them, they sat there and turned around and said, it weren't fair on us. One of my Spurs mates said today, it weren't fair on us today that we had to go to the game.
Go out and win the bloody game.
But I get what they're saying. They didn't want us.
Listen, to me, the TV companies are probably happy they had that game.
Yeah, but it was an atmosphere that no other team had.
Yeah, but that's the Spurs fans' fault. It's not the Premier League's fault.
Well, I think it's...
Premier League can't legislate for Spurs fans.
Do you imagine if there was nothing riding on that game? There was a tinge of Tottenham fans that wanted a win to get to Chelsea. But if there was nothing on that game, that atmosphere would have been... Well, I don't like... Well, they couldn't even sell their tickets. Spurs fans couldn't even sell their tickets.
Well, I said on Forever Arsenal that while I appreciate we played Chelsea when they didn't have Cole Palmer and these things even themselves out over the season, the trip to Spurs wasn't the task for City that it would have been earlier in the season because of the timing and the situation. But these things happen in football.
Missing today and players like that.
Well, yeah.
But then you could also argue that last week against United, I mean, they had like Bruno missing,
that's part of it.
We've played a lot of teams this season where they've been decimated by injuries. So I can't put it down to that if we don't win.
Apparently, Jurgen Timber's going to be on the bench. The announcement comes in 1 minute.
You know
that? They're saying Jurgen Timber. That as well came from Hand of Ozil, who immense credit if he's got that all spot on early. But we are 1 minute away from finding all 4 11s: Arsenal, Everton, Man City, and West Ham on the final day.
West Ham's is important.
Yeah, West Ham's is the most important.
Everyone's saying, Money Mav saying, tell us the damn 11. I want to tell you, I want to know myself. We'll find out very, very soon.
The rumours could be round the wrong way. Maybe it's City that's been decimated by some bug that's gone around.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah, you're really dreaming that, aren't you?
Wouldn't that be brilliant?
And then they'd probably pull out the youth team and they'd probably come out and smash it.
David Moyes said in a press conference, it'd be difficult to stop the under-14s. I thought, that's the spirit, David. Thanks, mate. Very, very close to having confirmation on the 11. Here it is.
The West Ham team as well.
Go on, is Bowen in it?
Okay.
No, do our team first.
Let's do Arsenal. And by the way, the rumour was correct, so we'll give full credit there. Raya in goal. White, Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu. Rice, Partey, Ødegaard, Trossard, Martinelli, and Kai Havertz. Bukayo Saka has not made the squad for the final game of the season.
Wow.
Ramsdale, Timber, Zinchenko, Kivior, Jorginho, Vieira, Smith Rowe, Jesus, and Eddie Nketiah. No Bukayo Saka.
Wow,
is
that the first game he's missed?
Team.
No, he missed Manchester City at home.
The last time he was injured was the day we got one over on Man City.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So where will Martinelli play, right or left then?
I think it'll be Martinelli on the right. I'd be amazed if he moved Trossard out there because he just doesn't look comfortable out there for me. The West Ham team.
Surprising to start with Jesus. West Ham team: Areola, Kufal, Zuma, the captain, Mavropanos. Come on, Mav.
Yeah.
Right.
Greek goddess.
He was good for us.
Cresswell, Emerson, Ward-Prowse, Souček, Paqueta does start, Kudus does start, Antonio. But the rumours are true. No Jared Bowen. Okay. Not even in the subs bench. Danny Ings on the bench.
Yeah.
Daddy, right?
That's still a decent side.
That's a decent side. I mean, you're not
There's one player out that I thought, yeah.
Although
What
Bowen
about-
is the
what
star
about the
guy.
City team?
Before you get the City team, I'll just give you the Everton team.
Yeah.
Pickford in goal, he's been fantastic for Everton this season. Coleman, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Young. Tarkowski, Branthwaite, very good players. Garner, Onana and Doucouré in the midfield three, with Garner as well. So, sorry, Idrissa Gana Gueye and James Garner in midfield with Onana and Doucouré. McNeil and Calvert-Lewin, I think, will be... interesting how they line up. Probably a 4-4-2 with McNeil on the left, Doucouré behind Calvert-Lewin, and maybe one of them out on the right, maybe James Garner. But that is the team with Virginia, Krellin, Keane, Beto, Godfrey, Chamiti, Warrington, Hunt and Dobbin on the Everton bench. The Man City team, go for it.
I ain't got it.
Leave it to me. Yes, I agree. That West Ham team not as
bad as it could have been, because when I heard that Kudos and thing were out, I was like, you know, but it's
Here's
a real...
the City team. Ortega, Walker, Akanji, Diaz, Gvardiol is the back four. Rodri, De Bruyne, Bernardo in the midfield. Foden, Haaland, Doku. Poor 11, no quality there. Come on. I mean, oh my word. They took out Kovacic, put him on the bench to bring in Doku. That is the level of quality they've got. The likes of Alvarez, Stones, Kovacic, Grealish, Bob, Nunes, Lewis, all on the bench as well. We've got a load of super chats to get through, but any thoughts, everyone, on the fact that Saka is missing and
It's a
Bowen
big
as well
blow.
for
It's a
West
big
Ham.
blow. He's the main guy, you know what I mean? So, you know, him missing. But listen, there's other players that can, you know, we've been saying all season about players stepping up. Still got a good side there. Still got a quality side. But it's a big blow because he does make a big difference to how we play. You know what I mean? We look to find him a lot. I don't know if you guys... how much you notice in games, how much like we go to that right hand side. Is like Declan Rice will pick it up, spray it there a lot. Same with Partey. So we're not going to have that option today, and
Do we
so
know what's happened to Saka?
that's a big miss.
Well, he was injured. He smashed into the advertising hoardings last week.
Well, remember he fell down that little
Yeah.
ditch thing
That
against
ditch.
City, and he came off. Yeah, against United, sorry, and he came off, and yeah. So
Might damage his ankle or something. I don't think it'd be serious, but enough to keep him out for this game.
yeah, it's surprising. Not in the whole squad. I mean,
Arsenal did well to keep that very quiet.
yeah.
Let's go through some super chat. Mr. Guzaki says, remember, Pep needed £200 million defence and then some after his first season because he did not win the league. Well, we'll keep spending. Mark says, Jared Bowen has tonsillitis, he'll be a doubt. Yet, Mark, you're spot on. Lee says, Lee calls in, by the way. Thank you, Lee. Hope to hear from you later, and hopefully it's in celebration. Says, James, please tell Robbie that I was the first one to tell you that there will be replica Premier League trophy at the Emirates today. Closest we've ever come. He was absolutely spot on. He called in on FANZONE, and he told us last week after the United game. And I just thought, oh my word, it's going to be there with the red and white ribbons, and we might not ever get to see it. It's heartbreaking, isn't it? We laugh about it.
It is.
It's so close.
So close.
So close.
So
But yet so far.
Gate says, hope my player of the season, Erdogan, will have a brilliant game and end it on a high note. He's our captain, needs to step up today as he has done all season. Christopher says, do any of you think this team, with a few additions, will ever get to the same level as Centurion City team? Or is it 100 points a once-in-a-lifetime achievement? The Centurions are the best Premier League team I've ever seen. So basically, do I think Arsenal will build the best Premier League team ever? No. I'm just being honest.
Well, it all depends on the opposition, because you need to have two things. You need to have a very good team, but you also need the opposition to be slightly weaker. And if, just if I could finish, if you took the Arsenal team today and put them into some of the Premier League tables, maybe sort of 10 years ago, 15 years ago, maybe before sort of Chelsea started dominating them, Man City did, then I think you could achieve that. But there's two factors in play there.
Okay.
And also with the Invincibles, like, a lot of people get away from the fact that we was defending an unbeaten run at times. So like, if you was drawing a game, sometimes particularly towards the end of it, you thought, well, hold on a minute, we're protecting an unbeaten run, and why go and try and get that win? It was so...
Yeah, because they only had 26 wins, we could well end up with 28 this season.
So,
okay.
I think we've been fantastic this season.
Yeah, I think
It's just there's been, unfortunately, there's a better team about.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can give you 115 reasons why they're a better team.
I don't know what this means, but I'll read it anyway. Stephen says, we will invite Ryan Babel to AFTV if we win the league. I don't know what was that reference to Ty's fan cam a few years back. Do you remember? Do you remember that was? I remember when he was absolutely arguing. He was convinced we should have had a penalty, and he said, they go for it. And he went, no, but when Ryan Babel, and he had someone. Hold on.
That's Ty for you, man. That's
Ty. All right, everyone. Let's just go through the 11 one final time. David Raya starts in goal. He is the Golden Glove? Is that what it's called?
Yep, Golden Glove.
The Golden Glove winner. Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel and Tomiyasu in the back four with Rice, Partey and Erdegaard, the midfield three we want to see all season. Barely had it, but they are ending the season together. Trossard and Havertz keep their place, but Martinelli comes in for an injured Bukayo Saka, who doesn't make the squad. Jurriën Timber does. I doubt we'll see him, but who knows? Maybe if we're holding on to something 1-0, as we're deep in stoppage time, West Ham have done us a favour. We've got Kivior, Timber, Zinchenko, Ramsdale playing centre back as well, all just chucked on. Everyone, it's a back 10, see it out, but who knows what will happen. All right.
They haven't got El Neni on the bench?
No, Nelson's not on the bench. Nelson on the bench or not?
No, I don't think so. So
so there you go. Nelson's not on the bench.
No, we can see it.
Not El Neni, yeah?
No.
Nelson and El Neni not on the bench.
He'll get a send-off, of course. El Neni,
yeah, because
Cedric,
end of the game, of course, there'll be lap of honour.
Happens, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's get predictions for both games, Julian.
I'd say 3-0 to Arsenal. I'm just going to say 0-0 because that's what I want, not what I might believe. I don't want to look too deeply into what I believe. I just want to say what I want, 0-0.
Robbie?
I think I like that 3-0. I'll go 3-0 to Arsenal. Unfortunately, in the other game, probably a similar scoreline. West. I don't know. Listen, let me pray. I'm going to be praying in that stadium, but it's the Etihad. I can't see West Ham getting anything from it, unfortunately.
Okay. Lee, go on before I go.
Man City 1, West Ham 2, Arsenal 1, Everton 1.
Go away, man.
That would be awful.
Awful, yeah.
It would be awful.
It would be awful.
Like, really.
I forgot to mention to the last minute, and then Kai Havertz comes in.
Okay. All right.
Even that would be awful as well. It'd be beautiful afterwards, but
yeah, we'll take that one actually. If we have anything like,
let's go through the ringer and win it. Come on, let's have it. Come on.
When when they won their first title with the Aguero moment, and like we reflect on, we watched that as. I mean, I watched it pretty relaxed. I had no kind of, I wasn't really asked who was going to win it. And they had that moment, and I just sort of enjoyed it as like a fan of football. I was like, this is incredible. But can you imagine being a City fan throughout that? Like, that would have been one of the okay. At the end, it's the best way to do it. But during, the worst, easily the worst way to have to go.
But knowing Man United winning it as well, you know what I mean? Like,
it's a bit like being in the playoffs, isn't it? Like when you're trying to come up to the Premier League and they say, best way to get promoted, also the worst, you know what I mean? Because you've got to go through that, so.
All right, well, Lee Jacobs says, I think we take the lead first and use filters through the City. We give ourselves a small chance, believe. Let's see. My prediction is a 2-1 Arsenal win. I actually think we'll make hard work of this.
Yeah.
I think City will win 3-1. I think it'll be one of those where they're either 1-0 up and it's 1-1 or 2-0 up and it goes to 2-1. And there's a moment where it's like, but then
there's a moment of hope. Is that what you're saying?
I think there's a moment of hope today. I'm not like saying that with a smile on my face because ultimately I don't think they're going to do it. And if they're going to win it, I'd almost rather they're 3-0 up after 20 minutes.
No, I just want to enjoy the moment for as long as possible.
No, yeah, I get you. It's hard to know. Ultimately, we just want to walk away with the title, however that happens. But the point is, everyone, today Arsenal could win it. They probably won't, but they could. So wherever you are, hope. And
enjoy.
Come on, you Irons.
We're all West Ham fans now, aren't we? At least for a day. Enjoy the game, sing your hearts out, and check your phones. We don't hear crowds and start thinking, something's happening.
Because barely get any reception within the stadium.
I know, but you don't want it.
Even know.
You don't want it doing the rounds. And then I think this happened to Liverpool at Anfield 2 years ago. They all thought something had happened. Yeah. So my brother and my dad are going as well. I said to them, just check your phones. Don't, just wait. Wait till someone's shown it to you. Wait till, sometimes they add the goal and then there's a VAR check. So just give it a couple of minutes, check your phone and all that. But if it even comes to that.
It actually happened to City against Liverpool some years ago and they got relegated because of it. Someone in the crowd said one of the other teams was winning and City decided to defend. those last few minutes, and they went down because of it.
When was this?
Oh, this was when City got relegated from the First Division. It was at least 20 years ago.
All right, fair enough. Everyone?
There you
Back
go.
with the watch along, and we'll be back to react to every kick of a ball in both games, and we'll be hoping. So come, hope along with us. Enjoy the game, guys. If you're at the Emirates, sing your heart out. Give the players the energy to get over the line. I hope West Ham do something. Look at Robbie right now, people. We'll end it there. Catch you in a bit.